Hi, I'm Jack. I've been a mechanic for over 20 years, and today I'm going to tell you something disturbing. Today I'm going to show you the most common lies told by mechanics who don't do their job properly, so you don't fall for them and get hurt. Not every lie comes from bad mechanics. Some come from lazy mechanics, and some come from hasty workshops. I've worked with cars for a long time, and I know one thing. Most people aren't scammed because they're stupid. They get scammed because they don't know what to question. Let's get this straight. Every year, drivers spend thousands of dollars on fixing things that aren't actually broken. Not because they're careless, but because they trust false promises. Today, we're going to compile the most common lies told by mechanics. Listen to the end. Maybe you'll remember them before it happens to you. And I'll tell you how to spot them before you lose your money. Let's get started. When a mechanic says this part is about to fail, it sounds like something serious, and sometimes it really is. But most of the time, it's not broken. It's not about to fail. It just hasn't been properly tested yet. Saying it's about to fail creates urgency without evidence. It makes you say yes before you even ask a question. A real diagnosis comes with evidence. Leaks, cracks, measurements, error codes. If someone can't show you why it's failing, they're guessing, and guessing isn't a repair strategy. You just watch them inflate the bill to replace it, even if it's not faulty. You know the car best. If there's no sound, there's no need for replacement. Emergency repairs are available. Brake failures, coolant leaks,
This old
safety
beauty
issues.
has been with me for
But not
years.
everything needs to be fixed
Let me show
today.
you what she can
When
do.
urgency is real, there
All
are
right,
reasons.
let's go.
When urgency is false, there is pressure. Driving like this could be dangerous. This sentence should be followed by facts, not fear. You should ask, on what basis are you saying this? Show me proof. Good mechanics explain timelines. Bad ones rush decisions. Remember this, pressure is not diagnosis. People love to say, oil is oil, but it's not. The oil itself is important, but the additives are even more important. Cheap oil degrades faster. Some mechanics say this isn't that important and think, let your car break down quickly so you'll come to me for work. Don't fall for it. It provides less protection under heat, and it leaves residue. Engines don't complain immediately. They remember. Months later, when wear appears, nobody associates it with oil selection. Cheap oil doesn't destroy engines quickly. It destroys them silently. This sound is normal. I've heard that sentence cost people thousands of dollars. Cars don't suddenly become noisy for no reason. Every sound has a cause. Clicking, humming, squeaking. Ignoring the sound doesn't make it normal. These seemingly minor noises can cost you dearly in the long run, and your mechanic might not tell you, hoping it will get worse instead of costing you more. It only delays the repair until it gets louder and more expensive. Silence is normal. Everything else is a warning sign. A few months ago, an angry customer came into my shop. He wasn't angry about his car, but about another mechanic. He told me, they said my engine would be damaged if I didn't change the oil immediately. So what was the problem? He had changed the oil 3 weeks ago. I told him that changing the oil every 5,000 kilometers and up to 10,000 kilometers is healthier. And my customer said it hadn't even been 1,000 kilometers since he last changed it. You can imagine the rest. Last winter, a woman came into my shop, shivering, not from the cold, because another mechanic had told her her brakes were about to fail. She said they'd shown her a picture. These brake pads are almost worn out, they said. You're not safe driving this car. Fear spreads quickly when safety is mentioned. I removed the wheel. I measured the brake pads. They were worn, yes, but dangerous? Absolutely not. They had at least 8,000 more kilometers to go. Here's the lie. If you hear any noise, your brakes are failing. If the brake pads aren't new, they're not safe. It's better to change everything now. But brakes don't work like that. Brake pads are designed to make a sound before they become dangerous. That sound is a warning, not a countdown to death. And changing your brakes too early doesn't make you safer. It just empties your wallet faster. So how do you protect yourself? First, ask for measurements, not just an opinion. Brake pads have numbers. Second, ask to see them in person, not a random photo, your actual brakes. And third, don't forget this. A mechanic who scares you instead of explaining isn't protecting you. He's selling fear, and fear is expensive. As I said, if your brake pads are about to wear out, your car will definitely let you know. The next lie is even worse because it sounds technical, and most drivers never question it. A customer once told me something that sounded smart at first. Another mechanic said, "This additive will protect your engine." Modern engines need extra protection. It's cheap insurance. So he agreed. They poured it in. He paid. And he left feeling responsible. A few weeks later, his engine started running rough. Nothing dramatic, no warning lights. Just wrong. That's usually how these problems begin. I asked him what had been added to the engine. He showed me the receipt. Oil additive, engine protector, friction reducer, marketing words. Here's the lie. Engines need extra additives. Oil alone isn't enough. Manufacturers don't tell you this. But modern engine oil is already a carefully balanced formula. When you add something extra, you don't upgrade it, you disturb it. Some additives thicken oil. Some change how it flows. Some interfere with detergents that keep engines clean. Instead of protecting the engine, they slowly clog it. Here's what drivers should know. If your car needs a specific additive, it's already mentioned in the owner's manual. If it's not there, you don't need it. And remember this, a mechanic who sells you a bottle instead of an explanation isn't solving a problem. He's creating one. This lie is profitable because it sounds scientific. The next one, it sounds routine, and that's why almost everyone falls for it. A man once came into my shop. He had a box in his hand. Inside the box was an old part, dirty, scratched, clearly used. Another mechanic had told him, this part was already worn. It needed replacing anyway. You were lucky we noticed it early, and the customer believed it, because the part looked bad. Here's the problem. Most car parts look bad after they're taken apart. Being dirty doesn't mean it's faulty. Being worn doesn't mean it's dangerous, and being old doesn't mean it's broken. But once a part is removed from the car, you've already lost the argument. Ultimately, the man removed that part, and whether it's in good condition or worn, they might still ask you for a replacement. The mechanic will tell you, see, that's why we replaced it, and you nod your head. Because what else can you do? You weren't there before. You didn't see it working. This lie works because it comes after the job is done. After the money has been spent, after the decision has become irreversible. And this is one of the most common tricks in the industry. So how do you protect yourself? First, ask what symptom the part causes, not how it looks, what it does. This lie survives because it's hard to argue with the past. And what about the next one? It happens even before you buy the car. And this is where people lose the most money. Let's discuss and move on to the next lie. I hear this phrase all the time. This car was well maintained. A customer told me the salesman said the car was well maintained and regularly serviced. But when I asked for the records, there weren't any. Just words. When we lifted the car, the truth quickly emerged. Old oil residue, dry gaskets, uneven tire wear. Maintenance isn't an emotion. It's paperwork, it's dates, it's mileage. People confuse car washing with car maintenance. A clean engine bay doesn't mean a healthy engine. And a quiet test drive doesn't mean nothing is wrong. Here's the lie. If someone says a car is well maintained but can't prove it, they're not knowingly lying. Hopefully they're repeating what they think is true. True maintenance leaves a trace, receipts, service intervals, consistent maintenance. Here's how to protect yourself. Request service records. Check the maintenance history using the vehicle chassis number, VIN. And always get a pre-inspection done by someone who isn't selling you the car before you buy it. Because a well-maintained car needs no convincing. It has proof. This is one of the most expensive lies people believe. If it passed the inspection, there's no problem. I usually hear this after the deal is done, after the paperwork is signed, after the money runs out. Here's the real meaning of inspection. It means the vehicle meets the minimum requirements for that day, nothing more. Inspections don't test for future failures. They don't predict wear and tear. They don't open up engines. I've seen cars pass inspection with worn suspension bushings, weak transmissions, and cooling systems on their deathbed. Why? Because inspections look at basic safety elements, not long-term health. Do the brake lights work? Passed. Are emissions within range? Passed. Did no warning lights come on today? Passed. But a cracked hose won't pass the test. A worn timing chain won't trigger a warning light. And sometimes a slipping transmission looks good until a problem arises. That's the trap. People think inspection means protection. It doesn't. A real assessment is different. A real inspection is slow, intrusive, and honest. That's why I tell people this. Never confuse legally for driving with fit for sale. If you are buying a car, get a pre-inspection from someone before you buy it. Because the most dangerous problems are still the ones that go unnoticed. If this sounds familiar, you're not alone. Most people only realize the truth after the problem arises. So tell me in the comments, have you ever trusted an audit and regretted it later? And if you want to avoid the next lie before it costs real money, subscribe, because the next one is the excuse that repairmen use when they don't want to reveal the truth.